Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football. Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. I hope you're doing good. I hope that you're seeing a light at the end of the tunnel, because after yesterday's video, we have more updates, tons of updates. It's coming in thick and fast, minute by minute drama at Chelsea Football Club. However, it is starting to look like things are steering in the right direction, and I'm starting to feel a little bit relieved. So this is the match preview for Chelsea versus Newcastle at Stamford Bridge, but we are going to dive into detail of what has gone over the last 24 hours in relation to Chelsea Football Club before we dive into the team news and the starting 11 for tomorrow's game. So before I do that though, I want to let you know this video is brought to you and sponsored by the OneFootball app. Make sure you download the OneFootball app. Link is in the description for all of your footballing requirements and needs, just like the football news. Tons of Chelsea news. You can go on the OneFootball app and find out all the information that you need in relation to what is going on at Chelsea right now. And not just that, I mean, right now, as I'm recording, Man United and Tottenham are playing. It's 2-2 and Maguire has had another howler. I mean, he actually is a fridge. At this point, he actually should stick him in catering. At this point, Harry, mate, you don't belong on the football pitch. Go to catering and just, keep the food cold. That's it, mate. Anyway, let's get into this. Chelsea Football Club. Yesterday, I uploaded a video explaining what was going on. Chelsea's bank accounts had been frozen by Barclays, etc. Like, it all gone mad. We couldn't afford to put fuel in our bus. The whole thing was crazy. We had our money stripped away from us. That apparently is going to be temporary. How long is temporary? We don't know nowadays. But just after that, the video was uploaded. News came out. Roman Abramovich. I did talk about Roman in yesterday's video, and I mentioned he had two choices. He could either just tell the government, okay, you can, let the sale happen. I won't be involved. I won't take a penny. And, it's cool. Save the club. Or he could, if he wanted to be spiteful to the UK government, go, you know what? You're bringing me down. I'm bringing you down with me. You ain't taking a penny. Chelsea will fold. We ain't doing anything. He could have done that if he wanted to. But Roman... And you know what? I know there's going to be some people that are going to criticize, how can you praise Roman? I don't care. I praise him for him being the best owner we could have asked for 19 years, providing us with 21 trophies in that time. No one, I think, would have done the same in the manner that he did. So for that, I'm forever thankful and grateful. And as an owner, he's been fantastic. And that last bit where he felt, even if he was forced, you know what? I give control over, and the government will be taking the money, not Roman. That green light happened last night. Roman gave the green light to the British government, and now the sale is going ahead. It's going ahead. On top of that, the match day cap that Chelsea have been set at £500,000 has been risen to £900,000 now. I think the travel budget will increase as well. So you know what? Chelsea will be able to get to the end of the season at this rate, at least. And it's all looking like things are in motion. On top of that, the good news is that the sale will continue to be managed by the Rain Group. The Rain Group were the group that Roman Abramovich put forward in order to manage the sale and select the correct buyer according to the requirements that Roman had put on the table, in terms of someone that is actually going to take the club forward, someone that isn't just going to come and use Chelsea as a money-making machine, someone that is going to actually look in terms of the vision of Chelsea and care for Chelsea to continue winning, to continue remaining at the top, to continue to develop and grow the club. Someone that is actually going to incorporate all of those values. The Rain Group had been briefed, and they will continue to go in that methodology, that manner. So that's good news. That's good news. The fact that, yes, the government will need to give the final approval of any sale. So the Rain Group, if they find a potential buyer, we've got loads at the moment. I'm going to get to one because one is looking like is actually going to happen. Then that will be going to the government. The Rain Group will be notifying the government, hey, we've got a potential investor, we've got a potential new buyer. Do you give us the approval? Basically, that is all they have to do now. So, yeah, it's looking like it's starting to get there. Now, in terms of the latest today, on top of that, let's dive in, and I will actually show you guys what has gone down, because we've got more suspensions, basically, before we get into a potential buyer. So check this out. Breaking. Hyundai have suspended marketing and communication activities with Chelsea. Hyundai go on to say, in the current circumstances, we have taken the decision to suspend our marketing and communication activities with the club until further notice. Here's the thing, yeah, and this is where I stand with it. No. Just like 3, yeah? If you want to do this temporarily, mate, you're gone. You're gone. That's it. We don't care. You're finished. Bye. Walk out the door and see you later. We don't need no temporary. You know, when the going gets tough, you ain't sticking with us. And then all of a sudden, when things get rosy again, oh yeah, no, we'll continue to sponsor you. No, take your money and see you later. Don't need it. There are tons of other sponsors there that will happily come in when the time is right. Right now, if you're not willing to stick through, much like Nike have said they're going to stick through, and fair play to those that have actually decided to stick. Trivago, much like those two specifically, have decided to stick. You could have stuck as well. You chose not to. You ducked out, you bailed. See you later. Don't need you. Done. I have nothing more to say on that topic. Now, they are entitled to leaving. That is their right. They are a private company. They can do what they want. But we have a football club, yeah? If you don't want to actually be here for the long haul and to actually recognise that Chelsea shouldn't have even been flipping involved to this level in terms of what has happened, like, we didn't start a war. Let's have it right. Chelsea should not be getting punished like this. You don't want to follow Nike and Trivago's example. See you later. See you later. I wish you the best in all your future endeavours, as someone, a very wise man once said, Vince McMahon. For that, for those that don't know. Anyway, big up AEW anyway, by the way, just in case. I'm not saying Vince is a saint, he's definitely not. Here's a statement from the Chelsea Supporters Trust. This is important, and for those of you that are members of the Chelsea Supporters Trust, just like myself, you'll know that this is key, so check this out. The CST, so the Chelsea Supporters Trust, calls upon all members and supporters. There has never been a more important time to get behind our key asks and expectations in any sale of CFC. #trust in our future. Please share the following. It goes on to say, key asks and expectations of the Chelsea Supporters Trust in any sale of the club are: the government must resolve the situation as quickly and transparently as possible. The government must implement the recommendations of the fan-led review, including by assuring Chelsea fans are given a golden share by the new owners of the club. The CPO, Chelsea pitch owners, must be protected in all circumstances, and Roman Abramovich's tenure at Chelsea is almost certain to end, and our focus must be on what comes next and ensuring a sustainable future for the club. This is fair, as far as I'm concerned. This is just to protect the fans' values of the club. The Chelsea pitch owners, for those of you that are a pitch owner, you know, you're right in order to be able to keep that in terms of the value that it holds, because it holds a big value. Chelsea fans own the pitch at Stamford Bridge. We own it. Not any owner. We own it. Simple as that, right? So there's that. In terms of the fan-led review that was done, fans having a golden share by the new owners of the club, this is all very important stuff in order for the fans to be able to have at least a say in what goes on in our club. And it's fair. I agree with it. So hopefully that all goes to plan. Now, let's check a couple of these things out before we dive into news about the new owner. So, Chelsea were on Saturday pleading with the government to lift the ban on them signing players or extending contracts amid fears it could leave them with a major defensive crisis next season. Now, a Whitehall source said no chance of Chelsea being allowed to carry on as normal. They've got to live in the real world. People are getting bombed and losing their lives in another country. What? A Whitehall source. It's funny how they never have the guts to actually come and put their faces out there. You know what? At least that MP that was calling for sanctions on Roman actually done that in the House of Commons for the entire country and the world to see. You know, at least. This guy, who's this Whitehall source, saying Chelsea shouldn't be allowed to carry on as normal. They've got to live in the real world. People are getting bombed and losing their lives in another country. What, like Chelsea Football Club are responsible for that? No. And it's funny how all of a sudden you care about people being bombed in other countries. I don't want this to get political, but there have been other countries that have been absolutely decimated and you didn't bat an eye. And there are owners in the Premier League right now who have those sort of links to places that are getting absolutely demolished. 24 million people asking for aid and in need, not just now, for years, you didn't bat an eye. Instead, what we do is we, in this country, the British government, actually supply the flipping weapons to that country that's bombing and killing all those Yemenis. That's an example. No one seems to bat an eye at that, though. The hypocrisy is crazy. Chelsea Football Club did not cause this. So I don't know why we're being punished. You want to sanction Roman? Cool. You sanction Roman. You take everything away from him? Cool. That's his. Yeah, that's his problem. At the end of the day, look, Roman has to deal with that. Chelsea Football Club, you've stripped that away from him. Done. Allow a sale to go forward and allow a new owner to come in and let Chelsea function as normal. Why Chelsea have to pay for that, I don't know. But that is absolutely, I want to know who that source is. Honestly, ridiculous. Now, you know what? Let's get into the new owners. Yeah? Let's get into the potential new owners. Because right now, it's looking like this is actually driving, this is actually going places. So, let's check this out. This is the potential new owner of Chelsea Football Club. This is Chelsea's potential new owner, Mohammed Khareji. He is part of the Saudi media group. If we go into more detail, the Saudi bidder is a Chelsea fan. His kids are Chelsea fans too. He also wants to redevelop Stamford Bridge and renew players' contracts. That's him at the bridge. This is obviously him as a shot. That's his Twitter account. So if anyone that actually wants to, I don't know, try and find out more detail, it's obviously all in Arabic because he's Saudi. But that's the latest. Now let's get into the detail of the Saudi media group. Saudi media, who are they? Saudi media's bid to buy Chelsea includes plans of redeveloping Stamford Bridge, renewing the contracts of key players including Antonio Rudiger and Cesar Azpilicueta, investing heavily in men's, women's and academy teams. If we go into more detail, Mohammed Al-Kharaji, who runs Saudi media and is the CEO of the parent company Engineer Holding Group, is spearheading the bid for Chelsea. He is a Chelsea fan, as are his children, so is keen to acquire the club. This was obviously given to us by Nizar Kinsella, extremely reliable source, extremely. So he's got all the details and the happenings. Chelsea have discouraged politically sensitive parties from bidding for the club. But Saudi media does not believe it falls into that category. They are an entirely private entity with no direct ties to a particular ruler or government. Okay. Should Saudi media's bid for Chelsea prove successful, they would also set up academies in the region and use the women's team to change perceptions of how the sport is perceived. Saudi media are confident that they can secure a bigger and better agreement for the Blues after 3 suspended their deal with Chelsea. So you know what? Fair play. Fair play. Now, some people are going to say, look, this guy might have links to the Saudi rulers, yeah? The Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, or the King, bin Salman's dad, King Salman. They might have ties. They might have all this. Now, this group, Saudi media, apparently, complete private entity that are completely separate to anyone that's in power in Saudi Arabia. Is that true? Let's be honest. Maybe, maybe not. I can't tell you that. No one can, except them. But they're not exactly going to say, yes, we're linked. They're not. In the same way that Newcastle didn't, even though everyone now knows it's common knowledge that the PIF group have Mohammed bin Salman on the flipping board. That didn't stop a sale going through. Now, if everyone's going to try and target Chelsea Football Club for being, immoral and not having, things done correctly and done in a correct way according to the narrative now, well, guess what? If you're not going after Newcastle, you're not going after Manchester City, you're not going after the Qataris, you're not going after England participating in the World Cup in Qatar, you're not doing all of that, but you want to pick this out, well, you know what? Let's have this deal go through. Let's see what happens when the Saudi walks through the door, and then we will be able to put people's hypocrisy to the test. Because if the Saudis come through, let me tell you this, you can bet your house, your life savings, and everything that you own that the UK government will not stop a Saudi coming in to buy Chelsea Football Club. It will not happen. There's too many politics involved. I'm not going to get into the details, but let's just say it's in both of their interests for them to continue as partners. Let's just say that now. There's a lot of things between them, including deals, arms, all of that. Let's not get into it, but it won't be stopped. It won't be stopped. So if this deal were to happen, that's when, especially us as Chelsea fans, will be able to really put people's, let's say, logic to the test in terms of, is this right? Is this wrong? Hey, Saudi media say they're completely separate. So we're going to take their word. Let's take their word. These are looking like they are going to become the new owners of Chelsea Football Club. Mohamed Al-Kharaji is looking like he is going to become the new owner of Chelsea Football Club. So let's wait and see what happens. Now, that's the latest in terms of Chelsea. Let's dive into tomorrow's game, Chelsea versus Newcastle. How ironic. We're playing Newcastle. In the future, this could become the Saudi Arabian derby. Who knows? You know, the OGs of money coming in against the now absolutely ridiculously wealthy club that are undoubtedly going to be splashing money in the summer, that are now facing the OGs who might actually be going in the same direction as them. Unbelievable. But Chelsea versus Newcastle, we've got a game to preview. Chelsea right now, looking good. Last result came in fantastic. 3-1 away at Norwich. It's a nice winning streak going on now. In terms of team news, it's looking like Reece James could still be out. It's looking like they asked you a couple of the lads who were ill, like Alonso, who is recovered now, but it's just in matter of training, and I think he is going to play. But Azpilicueta, who had a little bug, Pulisic, who had a little bug, are they going to be able to play without just a few days after the Norwich game? You'd think, but Thomas Tuchel didn't give any certainties. So apart from that, Callum Hudson-Odoi is still looking like he's going to be out. There are a few players that are looking like they're going to be out. So bearing that in mind, who should Chelsea go with tomorrow in terms of the starting 11? Let's dive right into it. So we start off in goal, Edouard Mendy, for sure. Has to be Mr. Edouard Mendy. As I've already mentioned, I don't think Kepa's going to play again. So Edouard Mendy in goal. The back three, I'd go with Chalobah, Silva and Rudiger. Chalobah has actually been quite decent. Yes, there's a mistake in him. There is a mistake in him, and we have to be honest. But his first full season, he's definitely exceeded expectations in the same way that we saw some of the young lads in their first seasons, Reece James even, make mistakes. Do you remember? We were all like, he can't really defend. Well, look at him now. You know, Chalobah, look, he'll be fine. So right now, I'm very happy with him. But Silva, Rudiger next to him would be fantastic. In terms of right wing back, Aspi, I think he'll play. I mean, he did feature. He had to come off. He was feeling a little bit, it wasn't a case of, he missed the game because he was that ill. It wasn't like Pulisic, for example. Azpilicueta, I think, will be okay. So I'd stick him at right wing back. At left wing back, I think Alonso is going to be fit enough. Him obviously being out because he tested positive about a week and a half ago or something. So by now, he should be back to normal. Fingers crossed. In midfield, I reckon N'Golo Kante and Kovacic for sure. I mean, it's the same pairing that I think I'm always going to go with. Jorginho's actually been doing quite decent. However, Kante, when he came on against Norwich, changed the whole complexity of that game. Unbelievable participation from N'Golo Kante. He came in and absolutely clutched the game by the grasp of the neck, done everything that he needed to do, and just bossed it. So for me, those two have to be starting. In terms of the front three now, this is where it gets tasty. Hakim Ziyech, we haven't really seen, which is a little bit weird, even though we've managed without him. But I think he needs to come in for this one. I'm going to be honest, I don't think Pulisic will start. It might be on the bench, but I don't think he'll start because apparently he was actually quite ill. That bug or whatever was going around, that Aspi must have caught as well. I don't know. They must have eaten something. I don't know. But Pulisic was quite hit by it. So I don't think Pulisic's going to play. Bearing that in mind, the last game we had Werner, Mason Mount and Kai Havertz. I think it's safe to say that we go with Mason Mount, continuity, and he done really well against Norwich. Now, is he going to find that much space and availability like he did against Norwich? Against Newcastle? Probably not. But he got a good goal, very good goal, had a very good game, was on par with Kai Havertz as probably man of the match. So let's keep it going. Timo Werner I'd drop because Timo Werner did not look good. And all that space, time, everything. He had all the tools available to him to have a blinder, just like Kai Havertz had a great game, just like Mason Mount had a great game against Norwich. Timo struggled. Not even struggled. He had everything there on a plate for him to use, and he didn't. He just ran. He was just running. We complain about Lukaku just not moving. With Werner, it was the opposite. It was, you're just running. Like, we're not getting anything. You're just running. So you know what? Bring in Ziyech, put him on the right. Stick Mason on the left. That way he can hopefully keep up his form. And up top, we keep going with Mr. Kai Havertz. Because right now, Kai Havertz is absolutely killing it. He is the man that we need up top for the remainder of the season, without doubt, without question. And right now, in this position, he's scoring goals. He's getting assists. He's involved. He's everywhere. He's linking up. He's looking good. Everything's just great. Everything's just great. So long may it continue. He starts without a doubt, and that would be my starting 11 for tomorrow. And in terms of a score prediction, I mean, oh man, this is going to be tough. Newcastle are on good form. Let's have it right. Newcastle are on very, very good form. And, you know, the whole relegation talk, that's out of the window. They have definitely got themselves back up to a position where they're going to stay. So Newcastle, I reckon, will pose a threat. It'll be at home. Chelsea right now, a lot of unity. It's going to be a case of any fan that has a ticket will be able to attend. So it's going to be all the season ticket holders. I'm assuming members would have got tickets for the Newcastle game. So I'm expecting a full house. But the atmosphere is going to be very, 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 very raucous. It's going to be a united atmosphere, I think. Chelsea fans realise that everyone has to stick together. And tomorrow you're going to see a glimpse of that. So everyone going to the game, please be loud. Please make yourselves heard. Please support the lads. Push them through and give them all the support that they need and that you got to give. So let's see what happens. But tomorrow, preview for the prediction, I am going with Chelsea 2, Newcastle 0. 2-0, composed, humble win. Take 3 points. Thank you very much, Newcastle. See you later. The OGs are taking the 3 points, not the new boys in town with all the cash. We are going to bring our new cash very soon. At this rate, we'll see what happens. But let's see. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know your teams, your predictions, your scores, your whatever. Let me know below your thoughts on this new ownership, potential ownership, your thoughts on everything that I've talked about today. Let me know. I'd love to hear it. But thank you all so much for watching. Watch long tomorrow, without question. We'll be starting at 1:30 p.m. because game is at 2 o'clock kickoff, so make sure you're here for that. After the game, match review as always, so I'll see you then. Have a good one, people. Hit the subscribe button if you are new. Hit the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Smash like button if you've enjoyed this. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one, people. In a bit. Take care and peace.